Why there is so much fear to keep a shivling at home or to chant the Panchakshari mantra?
These are all concepts, that's not the reality.
What is reality then? For a beginner sadhak, how much external rituals are required?
Without establishing the logical aspect of who you are, if you try to explore, you'll get lost. And getting lost is being considered spiritual now. But a ritual is not like that. If you're willing to sit with a little bit of engagement, you will experience something. In 1994, when I said we need to build a temple, they were shocked. My wife protested, "How can you do this? How can you build a temple? I stopped going to temples because of you." Everywhere else people claim that they will die and they'll go to heaven and they'll go and sit next to God. If they have such a privilege, why are they not going today? Here, no, he will not make you sit on his lap. He's not that kind. He'll burn you.
There is a lot of fear when it comes to Bhairava.
Call Bhairava is a reminder who will give you that opportunity, that last brief moments are intense suffering and you come to your place, there's no more suffering. That's the best time to leave.
I'll be asking questions from a very sadhak point of view because I think you are the one who thought a kind of revolution for youngsters, the youth. And we have been facing with questions, I think you can answer it very flawlessly. There are many Shivratris that we are going through, but what happens on this night? Out of all the 4 Shivratris, this is the night where everyone has written everywhere that you be aware, you do the sadhana. As a sadhak, what is going to happen within me?
See, Shivaratri means it's that night before Amavasya. It's Shivaratri. Anybody who has a… If you were a sailor, in the past at least, maybe not so much, even now, if you were a sailor, you would wait for a full moon day or a new moon day to sail. Why?
Because of the tide,
It's rising.
because of the rise.
Ocean is rising. So if it's risen, you can come much more closer to the land than you could on other days when it's low. So what's happening? Somebody is drinking up the ocean water somewhere else?
No,
Why is it rising?
because the cosmos is supporting.
Not the cosmos, don't go so far, it's just the moon. Moon's gravity is pulling it up. So if moon's gravity is able to pull up a ocean full of water in one direction, your body is over 72% water. You think there is no pull? Huh?
A major pull.
There is.
Even if I'm not aware.
Even if you're not aware, at least if you're sitting with your spine erect. There are stories about Mahashivratri. A thief went out to rob. He doesn't know Mahashivratri and all that. And then he found people chased him. So he ran and climbed some tree. It happened to be a Vilva tree. He sat there. So if he gets down and tries to walk, people are looking for him, they will catch him. So he sat there. If he sleeps sitting on a tree, he will fall down. So just to stay awake, he started counting the leaves of the tree, just taking it and throwing it down. Just every 1 minute, throw one leaf down just to keep yourself awake. And in India was made like this, under every tree there was one linga, every hill there is one linga, because people didn't want a specific temple per se. They wanted that sense of divine everywhere, a constant reminder to themselves, there is a way to rise. See, this is not a culture, this is not a civilization where we worship God. We're aspiring to become godlike. Our aspiration is to become like that. All the people or all the figures that you worship, the icons that you worship in this country, whether it's Shiva, Rama, Krishna, or the many Devis and all, they're all people who walked this geography at some time, going through life in so many ways. But they rose within themselves. Our aspiration is to rise like that. So every little support that you have, see, if you're walking here, maybe you don't need any support. If I ask you to climb the mountain, you'll take a stick. Why? You don't have legs? You have. But every little support matters when you're climbing something. So when you want to rise, every little support that nature gives you matters. On this day, there is a massive support from nature. There's a huge upsurge. Here you're sitting, this place where you're sitting is 11 degrees latitude. If you look back into the history of this culture, 11 degrees latitude is where people built most of the sacred places, spiritual centers, because the planet is not like this. Planet is a tilt and it spins. So, planet is spinning. Anything that spins, to understand its most simplistic mechanical terms, it will generate a centrifugal force. True. Just about everything, from an automobile to a motor to a pump to anything and everything, is just centrifugal force, isn't it? Something spins, it generates that energy. To generate power also we use the same thing. To expend power also we do the same thing. Everything is about centrifugal and centripetal forces. So, the planet also has a centrifugal force. Because it's tilted, it's not on the equator, it's right now at 11 degrees, in that range. So, we want to be at 11 degrees. Here you are sitting bang on, 11 degrees. So, this is the best place to be that way. When it spins, it's creating a thing. Natural forces are there everywhere, but at certain points it's very high. So we always considered being between 11 and 23 degrees is the most auspicious thing. Mahakal temple in Ujjain is 23 degrees. This is 11 degrees. Between these two is the best place to be. This is how we recognize that this is a sacred land around the planet.
If I, as a sadhak, experience that, then everything dissolves because there is no experience. Will that body operate? Because there is no space, no time, no causation in that Shiv Tattva.
Well, these are all concepts, that's not the reality. Concepts are made because we don't know the reality, isn't it? Concept is a guesswork about reality. Some basis, there is some basis to it. Rest is a guesswork about the reality, how it could be. That's a conceptual thing. We conceived. So, to be still means you don't conceive anything, you just be. You become time and you become timeless, both at the same time.
Why there is so much fear to keep a shivling at home or to chant the Panchakshari mantra?
Why there is fear? We all have in our homes.
Yeah, so we get a lot of questions.
Well, if I go into the historicity of what this is, that's not very nice. It is just certain campaign that people have done, because this entire country was Shivamayam at one time, this land itself. So when people wanted to bring their own stuff, they made up these stories, if you keep Shiva, he will make you nothing, you will become an ascetic, you will walk around in a loincloth, all your wealth will go away. If you tell people, you will lose money. Or let's look at it the other way. Whatever, if you tell people, this happened, somebody, one smart guy in Coimbatore did this many years ago. That man is no more, so I can talk about him. So, he runs at that time, a reasonable scale industry in Coimbatore. He's one of those maverick kind of guys. And his factory septic tank is full. So he sends out a rumor that he's storing a lot of gold and wealth in the septic tank. So income tax department comes and cleans up the septic tank. And the guy is laughing his head out. So I am saying, if you tell people there are diamonds inside a shit pot, they will dive into it. Yes or no?
True.
So if I say you will lose what you have, they will run away from it.
So
That is a trick.
So basically there is no harm.
No.
Because I've heard many people, don't use this shivling, don't use Mercury shivling, don't use that shivling, this will happen, that will happen.
No. The important thing is this, if you have any energetic form in your home, you must tend to it. You understand, if you have a cow in your house, you must tend to it. You can't just tie it there and go away for a trip for 1 week. Even if you have a dog, all dog owners today understand, all right? If you have a dog, you can't just walk away. You can't just go to work and then somebody call you for a party and you go away. If you have a child, you cannot do it. If you have a wife also, you can't do it. I'm
I'm
reminding.
married, yes. I know it very well.
And if you have anything at home which is alive, you can't just go away without necessary arrangement, isn't it? That goes for this also because it's a living entity. If you created it rightly, particularly if it's made of mercury and things, it's a living entity. You must care for it in a certain way. If you're not able to be there, you must make the necessary organization for that. So this is just like any other living thing.
Living being. For a beginner sadhak, how much external rituals are required? Because as I've understood, or whatever little we do, meditation builds up. But these external rituals are just done with lack of awareness. What is the crux?
People who have known me for this last 40 years, most of them came to me because they were attracted to me because I'm an atheist. That's their understanding. So for the first time in 1994, when I said we need to build a temple, they were shocked. My wife protested, "How can you do this? How can you build a temple? I stopped going to temples because of you." So what is this? See, the important thing is this. First thing is, your body should be stable, right? Do you understand the importance of body being stable? If your body is volatile, you can't do nothing. Stability in the body. Next thing is stability in the mind. Your logic should be well rooted. Then you explore other things which are beyond body and beyond logic. If without establishing these two, if you explore that, you will become a crackpot. Why spiritual people means everybody thinks they are bloody idiots is simply because of this. They like to talk in the air gaps in their head. So my first thing is, first establish your logic. This is probably early 2000 when we are growing in Tamil Nadu. Suddenly I am talk of the town, in every town in Tamil Nadu. Yoga, yoga, Sadhguru, yoga, they're talking. So government becomes suspicious. They're suspicious of anything that's new that's happening. Yoga is not new, but for them it's new. So it seems two CID agents have come. They've enrolled for our programs, done, volunteering in ashram. We don't know. We still don't know who they are. They came. They went through this thing, inner engineering, they went to Bhavaspana, they went through Hatha Yoga programs. I can imagine their torture. Without being interested in that, they're going through as a part of their job. Even sadhakas suffer when we put them through Hatha Yoga. You will suffer.
Definitely, I'm ready.
And then Samyama. You know the report that they gave? First program is good. Second program is, we don't know what it is, what's happening. I can understand they went home with a significant backache or something. And the third program should be banned, it must be stopped, because it's just crazy. I thought this is a fantastic analysis of what we're doing. It's correct what they're saying. Without establishing the logical aspect of who you are, if you try to explore, you will get lost. And getting lost is being considered spiritual now. You don't have a sense of what is your memory, what is your imagination, what is your current experience. Your imagination gets mixed up with everything, and you're thinking all these people go to Kailash and say, "Oh, we saw Shiva and Parvati floating in the clouds." I said, "Did you see the bull? Did it splash on your face?" The bullshit. So, this is the nature of most cultures on the planet. But this is not the nature of this civilization. This civilization is about becoming one with the reality of the existence. It's called yoga. Yoga means yuj, to engage existentially with the existence, not psychologically. Psychologically, if you do, you will run into imaginations. So first 15, 20 years, everybody thought I'm a atheist. And for that reason they came. But now there are so many rituals. Why? At that time, I said, see, unless we create a certain number of people, significant number of people, whose integrity is absolute. Today I can proudly say I have a few thousands of people. If you give them a mountain of gold, it means nothing to them. If you throw this much money in front of them, it means nothing to them. They don't even think money in their head, first of all. Now we can do rituals because there is integrity. Because a ritual happens out of trust and faith. If you are little corrupt, the whole ritual becomes corrupt. Unfortunately, that's happened on a very unfortunate scale, it's happened, not on a small scale. Why Gautama the Buddha became successful in his time was simply because the Hindu rituals had become so corrupt. For everything they were trying to make money out of it. It's the same in many ways. So here we first focused on developing people with absolute integrity. Then ritual is a fantastic thing because not everybody in the beginning is competent enough to simply sit down, become still and, eyeballs up. Not everybody can do it, but they can participate in a ritual. Ritual is a community offering. That 10,000 people can sit here, go through it. Say Mahashivratri happens, let's call it a ritual, it's a kind of a ritual. Millions of people around the world, they're experiencing something. Can I give them all proper instructions for meditation and make them meditative? No. It won't happen like that because it needs preparation, it needs engagement, it needs various levels of development. But a ritual is not like that. If you're willing to sit with a little bit of engagement, you will experience something. That's also subjective from person to person. For one person it's life transforming, another person may be small something. But ritual is a public offering. This is a methodology we evolved so that it is for the masses.
Everyone is talking about Bhairav. Karl Bhairav specifically.
Oh, you meeting, All our people are going crazy about Karl Bhairav because we will consecrate Karl Bhairav by the year end.
There is a lot of fear when it comes to Bhairava. Can you throw some light? How do we remove this fear?
Fundamentally, this is the funny thing about human beings. The most obvious thing in human life, if you're born, is you will die. Such an obvious thing that will anyway happen to all of us, we're terrified about it. Every goddamn human being who were born on this planet have died. Hello? Everybody. But we go about living as if we are not going to die. This is the magical thing about human mind. This is why in yoga we give no significance to what you think and what you feel. Because you can make up whatever nonsense you want in your head, create a whole reality of your own, concepts and concepts, nothing to do with existence. So, Karl Bhairav is a reminder that we celebrate that aspect of our life. Why should we celebrate death? It's not about death. We celebrate mortality. Because our life is valuable only because we will die one day, isn't it? Suppose you were here forever, what the hell would you do? What can we make you do, tell me, if you were here forever? You would become like a rock, isn't it? The liveliness, the interest, the activity, the dynamism, everything is because one day we will die and it's not too much time. So, Bhairava or Kala Bhairava is the basis of life. Everything that we do in life is valuable only because it's a limited amount of time. Well, we want to live the full cycle of life. We're only negotiating little more time. We are not negotiating life or death, isn't it? Just little more time. So with Karl Bhairav, he's a reminder, we celebrate mortality. Very, very important. Very important. Everywhere else people claim that they will die and they'll go to heaven and they'll go and sit next to God. If they have such a privilege, why are they not going today? I'm asking. Here, no, he's a… He will not make you sit on his lap. He's not that kind. He'll burn you. When you die, you must be burnt, isn't it?
True.
He'll do the most obvious thing. Not, you sit on my lap and I will give you sweets and I'll give you virgins and whatever nonsense. That is not the thing. Once you left your body, it's a different matter. So, there is something called as Bhairava Yatana, that the last few moments, if you are in a certain energy, everything that is of many lifetimes of memory will go like that in a few moments. So it's intense suffering. If you go through it consciously, there is no more suffering for you. Today something happened, you're suffering, you sleep and wake up tomorrow morning, you leave that and do something else. But if you cannot come out of it at all, then we call it an ailment, we call it depression. What is the problem? You started suffering, you can't come out of it. That means you lost your discerning mind, isn't it? So this is what happens with so-called death. You've lost the discerning mind. If you live in joy, joy will multiply manifold. If you live in misery, misery will multiply many times. So Bhairava is that one who will give you that opportunity, that last brief moments are intense suffering and you come to your place, there's no more suffering. That's the best time to leave, so that that becomes your quality. Simply you become like the air, simply the air, so that there is no quality. So what we call as heaven and hell is just this, that you are either pleasant or unpleasant. If you are pleasant, pleasantness will multiply, feels like heaven. If you're unpleasant, unpleasantness will multiply, feels like hell. But there is no concept of the God here, you must understand. We are looking at various phenomena in life and trying to be in tune with that. If you are not in tune with death, you will never be in tune with life. See, if you say, sit here and say mantra, you're a mantra chanter, so you chant from now on, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. All that will happen is you won't live. Yes or no? Anyway, you will die, I'm saying.
Why there is such a vast difference in worship with Shiva, Shakti and Bhairava? Why can't… Of course, I understand that everything is different, but even by Shakti, is it true that when I do Bhairav sadhana, Shakti comes in, even though I'm not aware, and then the path changes and we realize it is one? How does this work? How do they
Are
work?
you breathing?
Yes, sir.
Through what?
Through the nose.
Okay. So you do it and through the mouth.
Yes.
Both of them go inside and become one?
Yes.
Why are you surprised?
How did the pattern come? First came Shiv, then came Shakti, and now Bhairava.
Many more things in between. First the idiots came. They are always the first and they are the most important ingredient, isn't it? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Namaskar.
Very grateful.